Welcome back, boys and girls. Is everything going? Is everything going? New comment. Huh? Yep, there we go. Okay. Ooh, is my audio okay? Yes. Okay, cool. Let me start up the music. I will actually need to step away for just a second. VLC media player. Get the music going for you. This will be maybe a little bit more relaxed of a stream. We'll kind of see. I don't exactly know how this will go. Let me set up the music. I got kind of surprised by stream time coming up. In case you can't tell, I was working on trying to get the game. Yep, that's loud. Kill me. I really hate that you hear that donk 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 noise. But yeah, I was trying to get the game started before the actual start of stream so I could have something to show off at the beginning. And then because I spent all that time, I am actually not quite ready to actually start the stream. So I'm going to step away for just a second. You guys can just jam out to the music. I will be back in like 30 seconds. Yeah, okay, I'm back. I was steaming some gyoza for a little snack before the stream.
How? Probably won't be able to stay up and watch tonight, but hope the stream goes well, all me dog.
That's understandable. I will...
Ilkar watch over you.
Yeah, thank you. That's understandable. This will just be... the stream might be a little bit weird anyway. It's kind of experimental. So we'll see how it goes. You can always catch the VOD on the YouTube channel. By the way, let me give you... I noticed you never actually joined the Discord. Let me just give you that invite link again, because that is where, if I have to cancel a stream, that's where I announce that. Yeah, appreciate you stopping in.
HTTP Discord Wukum Ramer EXE.
I appreciate you stopping in. I actually have to eat my gyoza now anyway, so... Let's see... So, before stream, I was getting the basics of the game set up. Well, you guys probably can't hear me that well. I was getting the basics of the game set up. So, let me show you what I've
Hi.
been... Hi. Welcome back, Missed One. So, this is what we've got so far.
Thank you. I will try to join. I'm on my phone and I think it gets confused by moving between apps.
Ah. Yeah, the...
No unrelaxed comments from me today. I promise.
That's fine. It's, unrelaxed comments are,
Probably no comments at all.
any, relaxed, unrelaxed, or none at all, they're all fine. This is gonna be kind of an experimental stream anyway, so it may be that, yeah, maybe for the best that no one watches that closely.
Never mind. I managed to join this time, I think.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll be glad to have you here. So, this is what we've got so far. It's not exactly impressive. Do not spill soy sauce on your new, crappy keyboard. Goddamn. You weren't around, Mutant Thoughts, for when I spilled water on my $100 keyboard. Now I have to use this piece of crap one I got from the thrift store. So, I actually tried to build this exact game, a long time ago.
At Miss Zerona, I will be the same serious sloth.
Let's see, can I get this centered? There we go. I actually tried to build this exact game a long time ago. I think it would have been about 4 years ago now. So I got this far in the process of writing the game over the course of about 4 days when I first tried it. With AI now, I just wrote all this. I replicated those 4 days of work in an hour. I started an hour ago before stream, and I've already caught up to myself from all those years ago. So, this isn't exactly impressive quite yet, but you can see we've got a pentagon, which is where the code we have so far considers our player character to be, and we've got an octagon connected to it. So the idea is that this game will be, it's in a non-Euclidean world that is graph-based. So every room is a polygon like this pentagon, and they're connected to each other. But there is no reason that, for example, this same octagon could not be here. So you would see, like, you would see another pentagon here and another octagon here extending off forever. And once we have the actual player character implemented, you can run into the octagon and you will see the pentagons and octagons just go on forever. Because it's a loop. It's graph-based space. So that's the idea we're trying to implement. Right now, we are getting the just absolute basics of it set up. So I've been working with Claude. Anthropic Claude is the AI for this mission. Let me just set up my auto switcher so that you can see when I tab over to look at Claude. Actually, if I just do this... Right? Yeah. Okay. That's a simpler hack. Yeah, just talking to Claude about the code. So I had Claude add some extra rooms to the test level there, so we will update the code with that, and we will see how that works. It may be that we have not actually successfully implemented this, but we will see. So yeah, test case 1 is a simple linear corridor. Okay. Wait, what? Test simple corridor. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this should give us the same thing we just saw. These changes I don't want to accept, that's fine. Let me rearrange things so I can see chat better. There we go. And then we try launching the game. And okay. That just gives us the same thing we just saw. That's what we wanted. That looks correct. Let me just test that these work. Yes, okay. Now the fun begins. Let's start uncommenting these bits here. So this will just add on a corridor. So that's pretty simple. That should just work. It would be difficult to believe that this wouldn't just work. It just works. All right. Excellent. It is a little obnoxious that that it goes off the edge of the screen. Let me just replace that with triangles. And then that'll make things a little oh. That's fine. That should work. No. How many sides does a triangle have? Well... Okay, it's starting to look a little fucked up. Oh, no, that's correct. Yeah, that's fine. That's actually correct. So you can see that all those triangular rooms are branching off of each other correctly. It's a little... number 5 is drawn a little bit weird there. I'm not sure what happened. That's strange. You notice how the floor is fucked up? And then 6 doesn't even have a floor? Not sure what's going on there. But let's... Let me just try that with squares. Just to see. Yeah, no, that's really weird looking, but so you can see that some of the kind of the non-Euclidean aspect of it, it looks weird because we haven't finished the rendering code yet, but you can imagine if the rendering code wasn't fucked up, you could walk here, and then you could walk in here, this room to this room to this room, and you would end up in the same, like you took 4 left turns, but you're in a different place. So, but we will need to make it so that things don't draw on top of each other like that. I'm not 100%. Yeah, no, yeah. We'll have to have line of sight code, so like this part won't be visible eventually. You'll just see, like your character is here and you'll just see this part, and then all this crazy stuff will be hidden. So it won't look quite as broken. That's fine. So that looks okay. Let's just set it to maybe create 4 rooms instead of 6, or maybe 3. There we go. And then this one will draw some branching paths. So that might be interesting. Wait, okay. Okay. Does this work? Well, it's a little funky looking. Okay, so some things I'm noticing is that the texture is wrong. It's being scaled down. Did the AI do that on purpose? I think the AI did that on purpose. Well, I wish it hadn't have. But yeah, you can see, okay, let me get rid of these ones. Yeah, I have no idea how interesting this will be to someone just watching. That's kind of why I said this was an experimental stream. It's entirely possible that no one watching will have any idea what the hell's going on. So I would like to correct this issue with the texture being scaled. I don't know why that's happening. Okay. But it does look like it's basically working. Can I just make these into maybe simpler shapes? Square, triangle, pentagon. Let me just make these triangles so that it's maybe a little easier to see. Why? Okay, no, I get it. Yeah, no, this is correct. Okay, let me comment out the octagon so that you can actually see. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, that's not an octagon, that's a hexagon. I apologize. Okay, so you can see we have our starting room, we have the square, we have another pentagon, a triangle, and some triangles branching off. So that all looks correct. If we turn on room numbers, we can see this draws first. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's... That's... Yeah, that's not wrong. I didn't exactly anticipate this. I am also going to have to kind of eat my dinner on stream. I hope you don't hear any weird eating noises.
Is this going to be the tutorial room? Oh.
Right now, this is just a level to test if the thing works at all. Like, I don't think the final game will look much like this. I literally started from nothing an hour ago, to be clear.
I see.
Yeah, so Yeah, we're just trying to make sure, because, so, like I said, I didn't get this far back when I tried to make this game idea all those years ago. I didn't actually get this far. I had a hard time getting the rooms to line up with each other, but now with AI, it just did it. It just wrote the code just fine. So I'm pretty excited. We'll see how far we can get in like a 3-hour stream. Once I have just the basic structure of things working, I will make it so that we can move around, and maybe that'll make things look a little bit more interesting. And then after that, we'll have the line of sight stuff so that you actually have a perspective, and that'll make it so that when things overlap, you can actually see what's going on, and it'll all click once I implement that. It's just, it'll be a while before I get there. So, the first thing we need to deal with is this issue where the checkerboard, the floor texture is shrinking for some reason. Okay, so let's show that to Claude. There seems to be an issue where...
Exciting. I don't have any knowledge of coding whatsoever. So it's all a mystery to me. Oh, my dog. What are you having for dinner?
I am having gyoza, which also known as pot stickers. It's an Asian food where it's a little bit of shrimp and chicken and vegetables inside a little dumpling. The problem is I don't want to make eating noises. I'm sure people don't like that.
Like dumplings.
Yeah, like dumplings. You can get them frozen.
Excellent.
And then you eat them with a little bit of rice vinegar mixed with soy sauce. So I hope you don't hear this. I move away from the mic to snack. Okay. There seems to be an issue where the checkerboard texture is shrinking on more distant rooms. Fix this. And then we are starting to run out of the transform scale to the texture size. Interesting. We are starting to run out of our... So AIs, large language models, they have what's known as a context size. So we have our whole conversation here with Claude, and that takes up a certain amount of space, and Claude can only... You can think of it like your working memory in a human mind. There's limits to it. And it's the same with Claude. There's only so much. And with most AIs I've seen, the most recent GPT 01 and 01 Mini, they have less of this. They still have it. But basically, the longer a conversation with an AI like Claude or ChatGPT goes on, the dumber it gets. So, like, once this warning bar starts to pop up, you want to take all your code or whatever you were working on and start a new conversation. The problem with that is then you'll lose a bunch of context. So the point of saying all that is that this is the point where most of these AI coding projects start to break down, when the conversation gets too long and Claude starts to make weird mistakes, and then you try to start a new conversation, and you don't get all the details moved over, so you get more weird mistakes. We'll see. This should at least fix that issue with the... let me close the game. With the floor textures. Okay. Don't want to take that. So, yeah, get the room radius. I feel like the room should just store its scale, but whatever. That's fine. Calculate position based on transformed center. What? Oh. Okay. me just look. Anything else come over that I don't want? Nope. Okay. Okay, that did fix that issue. Yeah, neat. But actually, it would be kind of cool if it rotated the texture as well. But let me eat another gyoza here. All right. So, let's, just for vanity's sake, let's ask, can we, okay, this needs to switch over. Let's also take a picture so that he can see what we're talking about. And then show that to Claude. Can we also... All right. That worked. Instead of calculating the... Well... No, because I actually want to have polygons of arbitrary... Like, not just regular polygons eventually, so... Actually, maybe calculating the scale every time is actually the correct thing. Although, yeah, no, let's, can we calculate the scale once when we create room in the first place instead of calculating it every draw call? Also, we make it so the checkerboard texture... Is it rotating? What exactly is actually happening? It's not rotating, or is it? No, it's not. It just kind of looks weird. All right, that worked. Can we calculate the scale once when we create the room in the first place instead of calculating it every draw call? Oh, this, you can't see this. Hold on. Also, can we make it so the checkerboard texture always lines up like it kind of accidentally does between the red and purple rooms? We'll see what he has to say to that. Okay, he's working on it. The problem with, I appreciate Anthropic added this ability to modify artifacts instead of just replacing them relatively recently. And I really appreciate it. However, I wish it was easier to see what Claude was actually doing when he does that. So let's check that against what we have. Okay, that's not relevant. Now let's also get rid of this. Oh no, you can hear that. I see it bouncing the VU meter. Okay. Okay, this is a pretty big change. Calculate texture size based on room radius once. Self.room radius equals radius texture size. Okay. Okay. Draw checkerboard pattern aligned to world grid. Okay. Prescale the texture. Actually, what exactly is it doing? Self.scale. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's actually good. I actually, that is actually smarter than what I would have asked it to write. because that will help us later when we need to add an actual floor texture. Okay, and this removes all that calculation that was... all that unnecessary calculation. Get rid of that. Well, we do need that. And then we just... self-dust good. Yep. Easy peasy. That's just a comment. That's all stuff we don't want. All right. That should work. Hey! It still doesn't quite line up, but whatever. The lining up isn't a big issue. Well, actually, maybe we should figure that out, because when we use actual textures, we do want them to line up. Alright, this might be a rabbit hole here, but let's try one more time to get them to line up. Just out of pure vanity. Looks a little better, but it still doesn't quite line up. Think it through the cause through carefully before trying to implement the fix. What's happening here? So what I'm doing here is a variation on what's called chain of thought prompting. So LLMs will get better results if you give them space to work and think things out. You know, if you imagine as a human being, if someone asks you a complex technical question just straight out and you just have to answer right away, you probably won't give as good of an answer as if someone gave you a second to think about it. So that's what we're doing here. We're saying, hey, take a second to think about this before you actually do it. And this can make the difference between Claude, like, just making something up and just screwing everything up, or it actually detecting the problem and fixing it. When we transform between rooms, we're doing rotation and translation, but we're not considering how that affects the texture's coordinate system. When we draw our checkerboard pattern, we're creating it relative to each room's local coordinate system. But when we transform between rooms, we need to maintain the world coordinate system for the texture. Here's what's happening. Each room gets its own checkerboard pattern in its local space. When we connect rooms, we calculate the transform that makes their edges line up. We're applying that transform to the room's geometry, but we need to also consider how it affects the texture coordinates. The texture's alignment needs to be based on the room's position and orientation in world space, not its local space. The fix should track each room's transform from world space when creating... Okay. I was hoping... It seems like the complexity penalty will be too large, considering this is just a vanity feature. Just makes a debug feature slightly better looking. Do you concur? I was originally hoping this would save us work later on when trying to apply final floor textures to rooms and trying to make them line up, but it's... Well, no, I guess it would. Let me ask. It would. All right. So we just won't do it that way. All right, so now let's skip all of this. We can't. Can we go back and change this? Oh, we actually can. Okay, now sum up our. I need to go to a new Claude session so your context doesn't overfill. Sum up all the design goals and decisions we've made so far for your own future consumption. All right. Actually, I'm not sure how much use this actually would be. Yeah, okay, so I will just take this prompt, and then let's start up a new. As a matter of fact, I can just take this. I can add to current project, and then I can go to another tab. And I can go, wait, what? Oh, there we go. Why is that text? Can I take a look? Oh, that, okay, that's fine. We have written most of the code. In fact, let me just take this and paste it in instead of doing that. Because I've had that not work. We have written a prototype and want to go further with it. Here's the code. Oh, okay, that comes in as a file, that's fine. Also, it's not blocking. I told it to not leak my data. I don't appreciate it ignoring that instruction. Okay. I've attached the code so far. I guess you should write it back out into an artifact so we can work with it. So now we want to implement support for entities that exist inside the rooms. Room should have a list of entities. And how do we want this to work? And we need an entity class that knows its parent room, position within that room. Remember, all positions are relative to center of your current room. And rooms may be on screen multiple times, so there is no objective world position for anything. So this game is going to be really unusual in that most games are on a single global coordinate system. Like, everything is in a specific place relative to everything else. Well, that's not true in this game. Because of the non-Euclidean nature of it. Like, if you have a loop, if you have a room that's connected to itself, things will be on screen multiple times. The same object is going to appear in different places. It's actually in one place. You just see the same room multiple times. Because it's non-Euclidean, a line that goes a different direction, lines that go different directions may end up in the same place. Let me just eat my gyoza. So, we should also have some water. Hold on. So that makes certain things a little bit more complicated, but I think we can manage it. Velocity. And a sprite. Let's, for now, just procedurally generate simple folder sprites that are a randomly colored. Okay, we also need facing, orientation as a single. Procedurally generates simple placeholder sprites that are a randomly colored triangle pointing forward from the entity's point of view. Pointing with the point indicating the entity's facing. Our first entity will be the player entity. Before we go that, when an entity moves outside, entities need to know about the walls of the edges, sides of the room that contains them. Unconnected, they should bounce off. Unconnected sides pass through connected edges. When an entity passes through a connected edge, should its parent should become. Maybe the rooms shouldn't know because they have to draw them. So the way I was thinking it was that there would be a hierarchy where you have the room and then the entities inside the room, like an enemy or a item that you got to pick up, or the player character himself. And then the game tells the rooms to draw themselves, and then the rooms each tell the entities inside them to draw themselves. Although, now that I think of it, there isn't actually an advantage to doing it that way, is there? So... well, no, because the thing is, we lose the... well, we can just cache that transform information. The other problem is that we would need to... yeah, there's a reason I did the There's a reason I wanted to do it that way, because we need to elegantly handle the case where there are multiple of the same room on screen at the same time. So we want it to work that way because it'll just work. Yeah, okay. The room that it just passed into. Entities are drawn when right after the room, the floor of the room that contains them is drawn. We should make sure to handle the edge case where the entity, where part of the entity sprite yeah, okay. Where part of the entity sprite is in another room, is past the boundary of the room it's in. I think we can just handle this by turning the clip off before drawing the entities. And every entity should have a method that to draw itself, which receives as parameter the transform. It needs to transform the room was drawn with so that it can transform its own position inside the room onto the position room is being at on screen. Remember that if there is a cycle in the graph, a room may appear on screen multiple times. If so, all is inside it should be drawn inside each, drawn correctly inside each instance. Okay, is this enough specification? No, we got more things to design. It should the A and D those keys should be hooked up to affect its velocity, and it should just face whichever direction it's, or whatever direction it was last moving. Oh, actually, no, we want to, should always face the mouse cursor. Instead of the root room being always being the 0th first room created, being that the first room created, the root room should be whatever room the player entity is in. Please check my design for any gaps in any implications I haven't Any gaps in the reasoning or implications I haven't considered, then write the code. I'll help design and implement the entity system. Let me analyze the requirements and identify any potential issues. Entity position and transformation. Your approach using room local coordinates is good. It avoids the complexity of maintaining global coordinates in a non-Euclidean space. For entity edge collision detection, we'll need to transform the entity's position into the edge's local space. The edge's local space? The drawing system looks sound. Using the room's transform matrix will correctly handle multiple instances of the same room. We need to handle the case where an entity is partially through an edge during the transition. When transferring between rooms, we'll need to transform the entity's position and velocity vector to match the new room's coordinate space. Yep, that's correct. For orientation, we'll need to account for the rotation difference between the connected edges. Mouse aiming needs to handle the case where the ooh. No, that's not correct. What? Hold on. Wait a second. I'm a little confused. Okay, you said... Actually... Oh, no! Yeah, he's right. Because, yeah, no, he's right. Huh. I didn't consider that because, so... in the game that I'm copying all the actual shooting mechanics from, the player character just faces the mouse cursor. Well, what happens if there's multiple of your guy on screen? You know? Like, which direction does he face? Because what if each guy is on the opposite side of the mouse cursor? I'm actually curious how it accomplished that. Could you explain how you accomplished this? Actually didn't occur to me until you mentioned this complication. There. When the room graph contains cycles, the player's room could appear multiple times on screen. In this case, there could be multiple valid ways to interpret where the mouse is pointing relative to the player. Let me walk through the solution in the update orientation method of the player class. First, we need to find all instances of the player on screen. We do this by traversing the room graph just like we do for tracking the transformation matrix for each room instance. Not super into that, but okay. No, that's fine. For each instance we find, we calculate the screen space position of the player in that instance of the room. Then comes the key insight. We choose the instance that's closest to the mouse cursor. Okay, that's fine. After finding all instances by recursively visiting connected rooms, we calculate the angle between the nearest player instance and the mouse. This ensures that when the player aims, they're always aiming based on the most intuitive interpretation, the instance of themselves that's closest to where the mouse is pointing. For example, imagine a level with a cycle where you can see the player in 3 different places with the mouse. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually, yeah. Alright. Give me a full listing in a new artifact. You can then update as we go along. It ignored my instruction to create an artifact with the old code in it. That was not very cool of it. I wish you could just port artifacts across Claude instances. Our boy Claude is taking his time here. Ah, crud. Oh no, okay. Okay, hold on. First I gotta get the stir bar out of my drinking water because I was mixing up some greens powder, vitamins, but now I don't need the stir bar. And then, okay, that's fine. Oops, you hit your response length limit. Update the artifact with the rest of the code. Hopefully that works. Okay, it does work. I would have been very upset if that turned out not to work. What did he just do? Oh, he's cooking. All right. All right. Let's merge that in. Kill the version of the game we got running. Compare with clipboard. Okay. So he pulled in ABC abstract method. List of entities in this room. That's correct. Draw entities in this room. Disable clipping. What? Okay, we can just delete that. Where does it do the clipping? See, this is what happens. This is the big mask service. Oh, okay. So that's fine. I shouldn't have said that. I should have read the freaking code. Okay. So that's fine. And then this is fine. This is all fine. And then entity. Oh, it added a bunch of stuff here. So this is the entity. Parent room, position, orientation, velocity. Why? Okay, that's fine. Size in pixels, random color. Add entity to parent room. I don't see where it generates the sprite. Update, new position, equals self.position plus self.velocity times delta time. Handle edge collisions, and then update position. Handle collisions with room edges for I and the edge, and enumerate self-parent room edges. Start end equals parent room get edge vertices. That's an interesting way to do it. Edge vector. Okay, this is just checking collision between a point and a line. Or what is it doing actually? Edge normal. It toPos equals new pos minus np array start. Okay, it's just, yeah, no, that should make sense. Yeah, that should work. Does it? Dist equals np dot, if dist is, yeah, no, that's correct, yeah. Transfer to room, remove itself from its parent room, transform. See, this is the thing, I don't actually understand how this works. Eee. Transform orientation. Add to new room. Okay, that should work. Draw. Room transform. Pos homog equals np append self pos 1. What? Oh, okay. It's just doing that because the transform is a 3x3 matrix and the position is a 2x2. Or not 2x2, 1x2. Or 2x1? I don't know. Screen position equals room transform multiplied by pos homog. Yeah, okay, that's correct. That's the part I have a problem with. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. It's fine for now. And then we got a player, which subclass is entity. Okay, that's not what I would have done, but that's not wrong. I was a little weirded out by how entity subclass is ABC, but that's not wrong. In fact, actually, you know what? That's more right than how I would have done it. I'm the asshole. I'm the one who's wrong. No. Update player based on input. I don't like that. That should be fine for now. Okay, it did this correctly. That's good. Okay, and it normalizes the movement vector. We were talking about this a couple days ago where people don't normalize movement vectors from keyboard input. So if you press up and left, or, you know, W and A, you would move root 2 times as fast because it moves you 2 steps instead of 1, if that makes any sense. Then we update our velocity, update our position. That's correct, that's correct. Update orientation of face mouse. And then, okay, this is actually basically fine. Yeah, I actually like this. Center, what? What's this? 400, 300. Why? I don't quite understand. Okay, that's fine. And we got our test level. It messed up our test level. Wait. Okay, that's fine. We'll just carry over the... That's fine. So that comes over. Where did the root room stuff go? Okay, that's a comment. That's a comment. That's important. Okay. And then it deleted my test level. I don't actually want it to do that. But that's fine. We can just fix that real quick. Okay, that all came over. So, get the structure view. Of course, they moved everything when they updated the... There it is. Structure view. And then we do not want the spare create test level. We're happy with the one we've got. Except we don't want that. Okay. How does it... When does it create the player? It does not create the player. Okay, no, that's in the code I just deleted, isn't it? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All we need to do, world.player equals player in the start room. Yeah. I can't really blame it for removing all that commented out code. So let's change that to, well, brief room equals hex room. We can just rename, rename code occurrences, starting pentagon. There we go. See if that works. It does not work. Okay, why? Why? Really? Oh. Is that... That's not why it failed. Create test level is not defined, but it's right here. Aww. Hold on. I think I broke something. Let's actually look at this. World equals create test level. Oh. Oh no, I broke everything. Oh no, I broke everything. Crap. No. Oh no. Why? Player entity. Entity ABC. I actually don't understand what happened here. What is the difference between the two mains? Copy. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, how things get weird when you cross that boundary to another Claude conversation. Center transform for root room. He didn't have DT. Okay, that's... So it feels like we can just get rid of the old one. That's fine. Yeah, okay. We don't have multiple if name equals main blocks, right? Yes, we do. Let's just rearrange that real quick. I don't know why it thought to put that there. That's really strange. That is a wacky decision on Claude's part. All right, let's run this. Root room of game world has no setter. That's fine. We don't want that. There we go. Okay, there's our little character. I'm not sure how clearly you can see it on stream. Well, the movement is very janky. That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh no. Oh no! That is not right at all. Oh no. Okay. So it's a little bit, oh no. That is not right. So what exactly is happening here? Let me turn on... is it possible to... That's interesting. Why? Oh, no, 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 no. That's normal. Why is it freaking out like that? Let me just... I have a little theory here about what I think is happening that I need to check. Transfer to room. Print. Moved from room. Moved. Self. From... self.parent room to dot new to new room, and that will print something useless, so we need to do room number duh to room number duh room number. Okay. So what we should see is the game freaking out when we do this. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. So if we take a closer look, moves from room 1 to room 2, room 2 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 1 to 2. Yeah. So... So for one thing, it's not detecting... Okay, the first thing we need to fix is the movement. So player... update. Which is odd, because this actually looks like it should work. Maybe I need to just turn the move speed down way low. Oh yeah, it was just going too fast was the problem. Although it's still just happily clipping right out of the starting room. So we slowly make our way over to here. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, no, that's very, very wrong. Okay. No. Huh. Yeah. So what I'm thinking now is that there... Criminy. I don't know, we do appear to successfully have entered room 2. That's cool. Can we successfully enter room 4? Or will the world shatter? Oh no, we have in fact successfully entered room... What is happening? Did you see that? Okay, for one thing, it is a problem that the orientation of the... Like, I should have seen this coming, but the reason the world is flipping around like that is because it's just because of the order in which things are drawn. It's kind of arbitrary. How do I fix that? Yeah, okay, we'll just need to keep a okay. So let me switch back to Claude here. So when we move to another room, the whole world flips. Because we are now rendering everything from the perspective of the new room. Which means that makes sense. Even. Okay, see, there's multiple problems. There's an issue in the detection of... I think there's an issue in detecting the walls. There's an issue in detecting... There's an issue in moving the player from one room to another, because you saw... If I flip back... Let's see if I can get it to do that again. Like, you can see that even if... Well, no, it looked okay that time. What if I do it again? Yeah, you see, we didn't show up here. We, like, teleported deeper into the room than we wanted to go. So there's multiple problems. One of them being, yeah, that's not right. So the translation from one to the other... I just want to know which one to fix first. I also don't get... Okay, wait a second. Actually, the detection of the transition is actually fine. Okay. That part isn't broken. It's the translation into the world, the space of... Also, I think the game is running really... Yeah, it's really, really choppy. Which may well be my own damn fault. For questionable software design. So we can see that the transition between rooms actually works... Oh god, oh god. It actually works fine. It's just that the... What? What's happening now? Okay, something is severely, severely wrong. Oh no. So I feel like the first... Okay. The world has begun to make sense again. Yeah. Yeah, you see? It's translating... It's keeping the player's position on screen... Well... It's keeping the player's position on screen constant. And then the world is moving out from under it. I guess? That's room 2 there. I don't understand why that's happening. There's a lot wrong right now. Okay, now suddenly we are firmly within room 2. And I don't understand why it suddenly works now. So... What the hell is happening? Okay, let me take another look, because here's the thing. The player staying in place actually makes sense. Like the player, so you see, whenever we transition across a boundary here, the look how choppy that is. The player character's position on screen stays the same, but that means that its position in the world is wrong. Now, here's the thing. We also want to stop that flipping, but I don't get why it lets us just happily pass through walls like that. That I don't get either. Because it can detect when we're approaching a wall just fine. But, so like I was saying, the player's position on screen stays the same, you can see. Yeah. Like, where the hell am I now? Okay, I'm supposed to be in room number 1. It moved me outside of the level when it tried to transition me because the world was flipping around. So I know why the world is flipping around. What confuses me is, okay, let's just look back at what the code is actually doing. Entity ABC, handle edge collision, transfer to room, okay. Transfer position and velocity to the new room space. Like, this looks like it should work. It's so strange, though. What happens if we don't change the root room? Instead of the way we do it, we'll go into the game world root room. Let's see. How do I implement this? Turn self.in root room. And then, no, that's not where I wanted to go. Create test level. World dot root room equals starting pentagon. See if that works. We tried to do too many changes at a time. That's part of our problem. So what happens if we do it this way? Yeah. Yeah. That ain't right. We're in room 5 now. Which one is room 5? How'd we end up there? Oh, and we're also, you can see we're all... Because if I hit W to go up, you can see my guy goes sideways because it's up in the local coordinate space of room 5. Yeah, so there's definitely something wrong with how... The main problem here is that there is something wrong with how we transition. Yeah, like that ain't right. I'm not sure how to fix it, so... Okay, so let's not deal with the flipping issue quite yet, because first we need to deal with the issue where things are We are not crossing these boundaries correctly. It's not putting us in the right spot in the new room when we cross the boundary. I got you to gyoza. It doesn't seem to handle... Oop, let me flip. Crossing in... when an entity crosses into another room, type correctly, it doesn't place it in the right place in the new room's coordinate space. It seems like there's a rotation that's missed or something. Double check your work and correct the issue. If you can't see the issue by working through it step by step, okay. Let's have it try by thinking it through step. We implement the code in JS in your analysis tool and then run some experiments to maybe go down the issue. Okay, that's not what I asked you to do, but that's okay. Ah, okay. The problem is in how we're calculating the transform for entity transitions. When we connect rooms, we calculate the transform correctly to align the edges. However, when an entity crosses an edge, we're applying the room-to-room transform directly. But we actually need to first transform from the edge's local space to the new room space, and take into account that the entity is crossing at a specific point along the edge. Is that correct? Okay, I'm just going to ask it, use your analysis tool again to confirm that your updated method is correct. Correct. Okay, so this should actually work. So let's diff it in. And then, of course, there's a bunch of junk. So this will be a non-trivial operation. Oh man, this got freaking complicated. I'm not sure, it doesn't make intuitive sense to me that that you need to care about the exact crossing point? And then all these changes are unrelated. Okay. Run it. Does it work now? Fingers crossed. Nope. No, it's just as bad as it was. Okay. Yeah, no, that's bad. That is not right. No, sir. No, sir, that is not right. Okay, we have successfully entered room 2, so can we... What happens? Yeah, no, that seems to be wrong in the same way as it was. Okay, did I not merge it correctly? Just make sure it's not my fault instead of Claude's. No. Why? No, that's correct. But that sure ain't correct. So... The problem is I don't actually understand. Okay. So let's undo this part. I tried it, and it seems to fail in about the same way. It does not make intuitive sense to me that the exact intersection with the edge matters at all. You're transforming into the new coordinate system correctly. It should just work no matter what point we enter. Right? Think it through more carefully. Maybe explain each step in the algorithm in detail, and maybe we'll discover the mistake. You make a very good point. In fact, that's an excellent insight that helps highlight where my thinking went wrong. Let me think this through step by step. First, let's be clear about what the transform matrix represents. When we connect rooms, we calculate a transform that maps from room 2's oh, you can't see this. Sorry. From room 2's coordinate space to room 1's coordinate space. This transform includes both rotation and translation to make the edges align perfectly. Let me just zap. This transform should work for any point in room 2's space, converting it to the equivalent point in room 1's space. So when an entity crosses from room 1 to room 2, we have a transform T that maps points from room 2 to room 1. Therefore, T minus 1, the inverse transform, maps points from room 1 to room 2. The entity's position is in room 1's coordinate space. We should be able to just apply T to the minus 1 to get its position in room 2's space. Aha! I see the error now. In the original code, we're using the transform directly, but that's the transform. Ah! Okay. Okay, so I bet that this will actually work. Let's compare. Let's also make the player just a little bit faster. Okay. Bring over the new transfer. That's good. Everything else stays the same. Hit it. We cross over. It's still fucked. It's still fucked. Great. Yeah, no, that's still wrong. That is very much still wrong. Okay. See, it's at times like this when I wish you could show Claude video. What room do you think you're in? You're in that one. Wait, no. Okay, it thinks it's in room 1. So look, we do this. Yeah. No, it's still wrong. That sounds like an improvement. Let me just triple check that I actually have the right code. No, I did definitely... Entity... transfer... Huh? Man, I just don't know. But I still... The error does not seem to have been corrected. When we move through the boundary into another room, we find ourselves in at a position up at a totally incorrect position at may or may not be inside the room at all. My intuition. So it is a clue that earlier we noticed that the player character was staying at the same point on the screen. I feel like it has something to do with the rotation. Tells me that it has something to do with the relative rotation of the net spaces of the rooms. Does it make any sense? When we connect two rooms, we calculate the transform to align their edges, but we need to think carefully about what that transform does. Let's break it down. In connect rooms, we, angle 1 equals NP arctan. We're calculating the angle between the edges and adding pi to flip one edge to match the other. But I think the issue is that we're not taking into account the full coordinate space rotation needed. When an entity moves through an edge, its position is relative to the current room's center. We need to not just align the edges, but align the entire coordinate systems. The pi rotation we add might be introducing an unnecessary flip. Okay. Let's see. Let us see. Get that out of here. My man, you didn't change anything. Okay, I guess it changed the... What? What? Oh. Okay, so it changed the... Okay, let's see. So... Okay. Yeah, see, this is getting beyond the point where I actually understand what the thing is doing, so I just kind of have to trust the AI to get it right. Let's see. That's definitely wrong. No, sir. No, sir, that is not correct. No, sirree, Bob. Huh. Okay, we will take a picture. Seems like all that did was break the relative positions of the rooms now. And when I try to move around, I still get teleported. So I don't think it fixed the translation, the coordinate space conversion issue either. I still think it's something to do with the relative rotation of the coordinate spaces, though. But it seems like the original solution we had for arranging the rooms was correct. It looked visually correct in any case. When we connect rooms, we have room 1 with an edge at some angle. We have room 2 with an edge at some angle. We calculate a transform that correctly aligns these edges. See, okay. The transform we calculate is for aligning the rooms in world space. Yeah. Well, why didn't it occur to you? Dang it. This is a lot like some of the interactions I've had working on my day job, where neither of us really understands what's going on, so we're just throwing crap at the wall, and we're like, well, I don't understand that. Do you understand that? Sure. Okay, well, this needs to be this way. Okay. I'll take your word for it. All right, neither of us knows what the fuck's going on, but we're trying. Okay, well, it's not broken in that way. Oh, now it just crashes. All right. Okay, I may have made a mistake in merging. Well, that's definitely not right. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's fine. No. Okay, no, that is Claude's mistake. Okay, paste the error into Claude. Looks like you made a mistake. You made a some syntactical mistake. It looks like you forgot to define a variable. It crashes with this when I cross a boundary. And if it doesn't figure it out within a couple cycles, edge isn't defined in that scope. Yeah, he just got confused. That's fine. I was about to say, if we don't have this fixed in a couple more iterations, we can switch to GPT 01. And it is better at careful mathematical thinking like that. Find the edge in the current room. Okay, let's just try that. The rest of the changes are irrelevant. Yeah. Okay. All right, fingers crossed. No. No. Okay. Exact same fucking issue. Grand. Although it seems to freak out less. That's interesting. What room am I even supposed to be in now? Oh yeah, I'm in the original. No, that's not correct. That is not correct. Nope, we're back. It runs now, but we're back at the same old... the exact same error in our location in the new room. Give it... try using your analysis tool to experiment. And maybe create an artifact visualizing. Our technique. Maybe that will show us what's going on. Okay, that is the, when you have these kinds of issues in game development, that is the recommended move to make, is you create a visualization so you can actually see what's going on. This does... Yeah, that's what I was saying this entire time, Claude. Gosh darn it. He's saying, our current approach, we calculate the angle between the edges, we rotate the entity's position by that angle, but this doesn't account for how the room's coordinate systems are actually orientated. The transform matrix we calculated for room connection already... But we need to... Okay. All right, buddy. This better be right. I'm losing my patience. Doop, doop, doop. All the other changes are irrelevant. All the other changes are irrelevant. Okay, cool. Run it. Fingers crossed. Now it just crashes. Yeah, Claude is, now he's starting to, just make stupid mistakes. We've confused him too much. That's fine. So there's two routes we can go from here when we're working with AI. We can... okay, he just needs to clean up. That's fine. And his conversation's gone on a while, so he's a little lost. We can try starting a new session and asking it, or we can switch to 01 for this step. You didn't change anything except comments. Good sir. Oh, buddy. Okay, let me refresh, because sometimes the changes don't show up, it feels like, in artifacts. Compare with clipboard. See, when you're writing code with AI, it does feel like, you know, it's cool that you can get stuff. Okay, you know, Oh man, he's completely lost it. Is this is any of this used? Okay, I'll give him one more chance. It looks like you just changed the comments and didn't actually execute the cleanup. I can tell you're getting confused by your context filling up. Let's try it one more time and then I'll refresh. I'll switch another session. You should become a little more lucid. Yeah, like I was saying, when you're coding with AI, you can get a lot done very quickly. You know, like I said, I got... Oh, Claude, come on, man. Okay, last try. Once again, did not make the change. How about you just give me an updated artifact with just a new artifact with just the new transfer to... No, god damn it. Transfer to room. I think the artifact updating might just be glitchy as well. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Is there a way to report that to Anthropic? As I was saying, the writing code with AI, it's great because you can get a ton done way faster than you otherwise would have. The problem is that when stuff starts going wrong, then you find that you have a bunch... Oh, Claude. You have a bunch of code that you don't really understand, and then it comes time to fix stuff, and this happens. Okay. So there's two things I want to try. One is just making a new session. We will copy this. I know you can't see. Here we go. Let me also zapper. I don't know why that's not staying. Oh, it's because I'm using the zapper and not the picker. Okay, I can fix that. Here's the code so far. Oh no, that'll attach. I've attached the code so far. However, it's transfer to room. However, transfer to room. Oh. Stop helping. Oh my god. Okay, transfer to room doesn't work correctly. We end up at a position inside the new parent polygon, the new coordinate system that is nowhere near the right spot, may or may not even be inside the polygon at all. You'll notice that the code that changes the root room is dummied out. This is because when it was active, it caused the rooms as drawn to flip around when we transition to a new root. This is a separate issue I want to fix later. Fix after the current issue. But that bug gave us a clue. When the root, because all the relative rotations, because the rooms as drawn to suddenly rotate, because the everything was now being drawn in the rotation of the new coordinate system. This is a separate issue I want to fix after the current issue, but that bug gave us a clue. When both bugs were active, the moving entities position on screen stayed exactly the same. A way you could say the two bugs canceled each other out for the purposes of the player character's vision on screen. This makes me think the coordinate space conversion bug is related to the relative rotations of the coordinate spaces of each room. Does that make any sense? Think it through carefully. Use your analysis tool and maybe a visualization to understand what's going on before writing any code. Okay, now copy the code over. Okay, got attached. Let's see. Let's see if this works. This is a fascinating problem. Let me think this through carefully. The key insight you've provided is that the two bugs, room transfer position and root room rotation, seem to cancel each other out, specifically regarding screen position. This strongly suggests that we're dealing with coordinate system transformations that aren't being properly inverted or composed. Let's analyze the current transfer logic and visualize what's happening. Let me break down what I think is happening. Each room has its own local coordinate system. When we connect rooms, we calculate a transform matrix that takes points from one room's coordinate system to another. The current transfer to room code is get the inverse transform, extract just the rotation part, apply rotation to position and velocity. The key issue I see is that we're only applying the rotation part of the transform, but ignoring translation. Is that what we were doing? Let me use the... What? What are you doing? Let me use the... Okay, is this... Can I... This is really annoying. Can I snot? Can I snot? Can I stop? Can you stop? There we go. Okay, let's do that permanently. There we go. Okay. Even with the error in the final calculation, this analysis reveals the core issue. When transferring between rooms, we need to convert the entity's position to homogeneous coordinates, add the 1 for translation, apply the full inverse transform, not just the rotation part. Okay. So it's sounding like it did that thing it does where it got locked into a mistake early on and then it never questioned the underlying assumption. The underlying assumption being that we didn't have to... that we needed to apply the transform piecewise instead of just applying the whole thing at once. I was going to say, I felt like... I really did feel like that... this coordinate system translation should be a really simple thing. It confused me why it kept... Let me just fix this real quick. Why it kept adding complexity when it felt like it was a... I mean, that's kind of... That is a failure mode I've noticed in LLM bug hunting, bug fixing. Their first impulse is to add complexity, to add more steps, to try and correct something rather than review what's there and then review what's there and check if it actually makes sense. I'm going to be really upset if I say all that and then this doesn't work. I said all that and then it didn't work. It's the exact same problem, too. That's what frustrates me, is that we keep making changes and then, like, the bug doesn't change. Okay, let me undo what I just did and see... Well, I don't... Okay, compare with clipboard. What? Okay, here we go. So in the old code, we convert position, extract just the rotation part. Well, but what confuses me... Oh no. Why did it break everything? Why have you done this? Okay, let's just try it again to make sure. Oh. Freaking PyCharm breaking all my indentation. There we go. No. Thank you. Criminy. Work? Work? No, no worky. Okay. Your explanation makes sense. Replacing transfer to... Sorry, you can't see what I'm saying at. Replacing transfer to room with your new version did not seem to change anything. Okay, let's think about this more carefully. We need to verify a few things. First, let's understand exactly what transform we're passing in. Then let's verify what point we're trying to transform. Finally, let's work for the transform math step by step. Let me use the analysis tool to examine what's happening. Okay. Okay, now he once again thinks he's found the issue. In the current code, we're calculating the transform in connect rooms to take points from room 2 space to room 1 space, but in transfer to room, we're using that same transform and inverting it. The confusion comes from this line in connect rooms, but in transform to rooms, we're inverting the transform twice. Okay. But why does that cause the issue that we saw? Nope, no change. I double check that I did it right. Compare with clipboard. Yeah. It is really strange to me that we get the... It's not just that it still doesn't work. It doesn't work even though we're changing things. it doesn't work in the exact same way. You notice? Like, it's not just that we still have an issue, we have the exact same issue. I can't even tell what's going on now. Nope. No change at all. What's odd to me is that we keep making changes to the the transfer code. The bug remains exactly the error in the new position remains exactly the same. Maybe that's a clue. Maybe we need to add more instrumentation. How about you set it up so that we have some code that does a bunch of test transfers, drawing the line from the pre-transfer position and visualizes what's happening. Maybe that will clarify the error. This is just a Hail Mary. I don't know if this will do us any good. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but okay. The problem is he can't see that. Like he can't see this. Well, no, buddy. I mean, this doesn't look correct either. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. It's also... Huh? I couldn't see the visualization because it crashed when I tried to move the character between rooms. Here's the output. I realize you can't see this. Bear with me just a second. There we go. Okay, now we have to fix the experiment before we can run the experiment. I was really hoping that this part of it would just be easy, instead of us spending half the entire stream on it. I was really hoping I would get into actual game mechanics by this point, but no. But no. It's also still not doing the thing. Okay, let me copy this information where Claude can see it. Okay. tell him that. So, trying to move from room 1 to 2 actually causes a cycle where the incorrect position in room 2 causes the code to try to move us back to room 1, then back to room 2, etc. And so on. So here's the output of that happening. This is very enlightening. Is it? Is it though? When we transfer to room 2, we're appearing on the wrong side of its edge. The edge in room 2 is at x50 vertical, but we're appearing at x79.3, which is on the outside of room 2. Looking at the transform matrix in the first transfer, yep, that's a transform matrix, all right. This suggests that the problem might be in how we're calculating the transform and connect rooms. We're trying to align the edges, but we need to make sure that points near one edge map to points near the... Yeah, but they line up visually... Oh no, it's doing this again! Okay. Paste that in. Run it. Fingers crossed. Safety squints engaged. Mother on speed dial. It's still fucked. It's so strange that it keeps making the exact same mistake. You know, it's always wrong in the exact same way. You know? It's so strange. Okay. Nope. Not only is it still wrong, it is still wrong in the exact same way. We appear in the exact same incorrect locations when we make the transition. Why do our changes... You would think that if we got the wrong fix, we would get new wrong behavior. We get the exact same wrong behavior. What could possibly be happening? Yeah, now he's like, okay, well, did we... Okay, wait. In connect rooms, we calculate a transform and store it in the edge. And that transform is computed by, and then there's a bunch of code. We're fixing the wrong thing. The incorrect positions are coming from the transform that's stored in the edge. When I'm not sure that's correct. We're applying that transform correctly in transformed room, but it's the wrong transform to begin with. Looking at the transform calculation, we calculate rotations between edges. We add pi to flip the edge. Is it just... Wait a second. Hold on. Okay, is that... Okay, I have a theory. Here's the thing. The layout of the rooms looks precisely visually correct. So I have a hard time believing that there is an error in the code that does the alignment of the rooms. I should have considered this a long time ago. I can't imagine how there would be some kind of sign error would make the map fit together, appear to fit together exactly correctly, not allow us to, but break the something, the translation of points inside these shapes. I should have considered this a long time ago, but is it possible that we the transform we use to align the shapes is just not the right, is just not appropriate for reuse in translating points inside these shapes? Aha, this is a brilliant insight. Yeah, no, I should have... Okay, see, this is... I should have just realized that way, way long ago. This is on me. Because now that I think of it, that's obviously not correct. When we draw the rooms, we're using the transform to align the polygon vertices and edges, the shells of the rooms. But when we transfer an entity, we're using that same transform to move a point from one room's coordinate system to another. These are actually different operations. That should have occurred to me an hour ago. Let me think about this. The transform we calculate takes points from room 2's space and maps them to where they should appear in room 1's space for drawing purposes. But when transferring an entity, we want to take a room in room 1's local coordinate system and find its equivalent position in room 2's local coordinate system. These transforms should be inverses of each other. But we already tried that. But we'll try it again. I'm pretty sure we already tried inverting the matrix, but okay. I'll try it again. Fingers crossed. No. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, okay. Nope. We already tried inverting the transform. And it didn't work before either. Let's think this through from first principles. How would we implement the transition, the transfer, if the code to generate the matrix we're relying on didn't exist? Maybe then we'll find the difference. Okay. This is a new track. Let's see. I feel like the whole, like, doing the transform should still work, though. But I don't know. I really thought this part would be easy. Okay. Nope, still does not work. No, sir. No, sir, it does not. Nope. No, that's not right. Okay, let me try that again so I can get a better debug for Claude here. There we go. I don't know how much this will help us. Okay. Let's try this one last time, and then we'll switch to 01 and see if it knows. Our new well, buddy. What the hell? Now I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. One last try. Transfer to room. Paste. Hit it. Does it work? No. And it's the same behavior too. That I don't get it. Okay, run. Okay. I know I said one last try, but let's at least give Claude a chance to address the allegations here. Hold on. Same issue. Let me look at how exactly, and if we, but all these vectors are. What are you cooking? What are you doing? Oh, vertices are stored, but oh, okay. Let's try it. Well, now it did that. That's on me. Hold on. Is it? Hold on. Yeah, no, okay, he got... What? Come on. Exact same issue. Okay, it's lost. Let me... give him one more shot here. Because it did sound like he was... It's... What? Okay, we'll give it one more chance. I know I've said one more chance 3 times. If this doesn't work, we will do... Yeah, we'll do 01, and then if that doesn't work, I will have to just take this off stream and actually understand the code, and then I'm sure it will suddenly... Okay, it's... What? You've lost it. Oh no, okay, he hasn't lost it. I don't feel like doing that. Okay, let's switch to OpenAI 01. Let's go back to the code we had before. I'll copy this. The code we had before. And doing that switch will require some work on OBS because I'm not logged into ChatGPT on this browser. So let me go to my personal browser. And then I can go to chat GPT. Let me just undoxify this real quick. GPT-01. This isn't the end of the world. This is all just, you know, everything I've done with this is just okay. How do I do this without doxing myself? Okay, I'm just gonna have to not show you what O1 is saying, sorry. Okay. Okay, I need to paste in the code. And then we need to... I want to make a game that da-da-da. Here's the code we have so far. Think carefully to We have taken a bunch of different steps to try and fix this, including redoing the transition calculation from scratch and inverting the matrices at various points, none of which resulted in any change in the code's behavior. This is odd to me. You'd think trying wrong fixes would result in new wrong behavior. We got the exact same issues. Here's the output of the code. I can just copy this off of here. Oh, right, because this doesn't have those debug prints. Okay, no, never mind, never mind. Okay, working through a graph-based game, honing in on transfer to room, considering that the bug may be tied to how relative... Okay. Before anything else, the single biggest culprit is that in transfer to room, you are ignoring the translation portion of the matrix when reassigning self.pos. Oh, mother... Oh, that's why. Okay. Let's try the one O1 sent us. Yeah, so I hope that I would have figured that out eventually off stream if I'd sat down and worked through it. But maybe we can actually carry on with the rest of the stream here, if this works. Ah! Okay. Why is it exactly the same every time? What the fuck? We've been doing this long enough that the music is looped back around. I recognize this song. Despite the fact that we have 50 hours of music queued up. Annoyingly, using this new code shows absolutely no change in the behavior of the program. Maybe you'll I'm beginning to think the issue might lay else. But how is that possible? Entirely, but how is that possible? Let me just double check that I moved it over right. But I don't see how I could have not. Huh. Yeah, it's not only is it still wrong, it is still wrong in the exact same way. Not only is it still wrong, it is still wrong in precisely the same way. What could be happening here? Yeah, there's probably a different issue somewhere else that's causing this. So let's see if O1 can see it. Well, no, it is being called. Okay, let's... Let's add extensive instrumentation so that we can see what's going on. Okay. He wants us to replace a couple things now. Handle edge collisions. Transfer to room. Paste. Run. Okay. Okay. Paste that into 1. This is a snippet of the log output. I approached the boundary, and this represents the output around the time I crossed it. The glitch is such that when we cross from rooms 1 to 2, we end up the distorted new position. This is such that we immediately get transferred back to room 1 in a loop, which is why there are multiple transitions in the log. Yeah. Yeah, even O1 just gave up. Ah. All right, well, I have no idea what could possibly be happening. I need to just sit down off stream and do a detailed code review of what's going on here. So, yeah. So, hopefully I will, although I also need to go and fix the TTS system. I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah, either this or fixing the TTS system will be the next tech stream on next Thursday. But despite the fact that our efforts ended in disappointment for tonight, I greatly appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate you sticking with me throughout all the BS tonight. We'll chalk this one up to experience. Maybe hammer down the exact geometry code before you start the stream, huh, buddy? So let me look for someone to raid into. We got Bagstered. We got... Who do we got? I don't want to raid into that. Let's go for Bagstered. All right. Have fun with Mr. Bagman. And I will see you all next time.
It's been quite interesting.
That's certainly one way to put it. Thank you for sticking with us. Sticking with me, rather. Raid. Bagstered.
Got shipped off to Nam. He got shipped off to Nam, and he made friends, and then they got killed in the war, and then he was next. You don't find the commies, you are a commie. Robo-meat.
Ninjas.
Hello, Raiders. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome.